Warning, heavy spoilers for Endgame, but this film came out like, what, 6 months ago? So, yeah. What's good is a boy dude reviews, and I'm finally coming to the end of my MCU film review journey. Just one more movie, Far From Home. And obviously, I've reviewed this film, but let's just give a full out spoiler review on this movie. So, I'll warn you, it does have clean spoilers. But if you haven't seen my previous review, what is this film about? Well, Avengers Endgame is a 2019 American superhero film based on the Marvel Comics superhero team of the Avengers, produced by Marvel Studios and distributed by Walt Disney Motion Pictures. This movie acts as the sequel to basically every single MCU movie you've ever seen. It's the sequel to. And it was directed by Anthony and Joe Russo, written by Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely, and features an assembled cast. So spoilers, obviously, because, yeah, some people are in this film that um kind of died in the previous one but came back to life. So the film stars Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth, Mark Ruffalo, Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, Benedict Cumberbatch, Don Cheadle, Tom Holland, Chadwick Boseman, Paul Bettany, Elizabeth Olsen, Anthony Mackie, Sebastian Stan, Danny Garuru, Letitia Wright, David Bautista, Zoe Zandela, Josh Brolin, Chris Pratt, Paul Rudd, Evangeline, Michael Douglas, Gwyneth Paltrow. John Favreau is obviously in this film as well. And yeah, the music was done by Alan Silvestri. And yeah, the film basically is it obviously starts off with the remaining survivors of Thanos' snap coming together and trying to figure out how the heck are we gonna get everyone together. And they go to Thanos' place. Thor is just really just he's in a dark place and he just cuts Thanos' head off like that. And we cut 5 years later and we see everyone, the remaining survivors of Thanos, just dealing and just trying to build a new life. Hawkeye has just gone rogue, being a Ronin. And then you have Scott Lang coming out of the machine and he's like, I went into quantum well and it was only a few hours. And they build time travel and they go back in time and we go to all the movies in the MCU. Basically, we go back in time to like all the pinnacle moments where the Infinity Stones were. So like Avengers Assemble, we're back in like um Guardians of the Galaxy, we're back in like early movies, even back in the past that we didn't see. It's really cool and really groovy, and I thought it was just amazing. Like them going back in time, trying to get the stones, was really great. I loved the whole plot. It was really great. The time traveling aspect. I wasn't expecting that. It was just really great. It was fan fiction done right, and it was really great. I feel like Thor as a character has really changed, like the most. Like his character development. You come from Ragnarok, he's just goofy and all that lot, and then he feels like he failed, because he's Thor, son of Odin, the wielder of Mew, whatever you want to call that hammer, and he feels like he failed. He couldn't kill Thanos, and he's just in a dark place. He's been in a dark place for a long time. He feels like he was responsible for Thanos' snap, and just seeing his change, like he's a big boy, and just really great. Tony, how he's saying, confronting Steve, he been so angry towards Steve, saying that he knew this was going to happen. He saw a vision in Ultron, and he told him, Steve was like, we'll fight and die together, and look what we've done, we've lost big time. And then Steve, he's just like, oh my gosh, like everyone's just really suffering. Black Widow, like, just like, oh my gosh, how they're trying to, correct the world, and just. And then when you get that hope, everyone's just up in their feet and they're just going. Hawkeye, his this film was great, but the whole thing of Hawkeye, him going rogue and being, going dark, I thought was interesting and really great. But then Black Widow's there, he's just like, come back, okay. And he's just back to old Hawkeye. Like, he's done a lot of, you know, apparently he's done a lot of crazy things, and it's just, I was a bit mixed on that. I wasn't too happy they killed off Black Widow. I mean, they killed her off, and then they're gonna have a solo movie. Like, couldn't they have the solo movie before this movie? Like, oh, come on, dudes and dudettes. I mean, come on. Oh well, we finally got her movie coming out, and yeah, is she dead? Is she not? She might come back. I don't know. But yeah, this film was really great. You know, it was nice seeing all these characters come together. And then when they got the stones and they battled Thanos, and then having then I liked Hulk doing the snap. It was really great. You know, giving him something to do, and they all came back, and then just them like um just it was so great with them, like, you know, all teaming up. You know, Peter Parker's back, Tony's happy to see him, and then Steve's like, Avengers assemble, and he gets, I like how he was worthy all along with Mio, and that was really great and awesome. You know, everyone, like, you got the Wakandians, we got Black Panther, you got the Guardians of the Galaxy, we got Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Ant-Man and the Wasp. We've got, oh my gosh, dude, we've got everyone. Captain Marvel's there. We've got our main Avenger crew. The new Avengers are there. Oh my gosh, like, everyone is there, you know, and just taking out Thanos once and for all. Obviously, why is Thanos there again? Didn't Thor kill him? Well, yeah, like, when they went back in time, Thanos detected that something was not right with Nebula, and then he saw the future in Nebula's memories, and he was able to do stuff. And it's kind of left me wondering that Thanos coming back in time, and then Gamora was with him, the past Gamora, and now she's escaped and gone. I don't know how this is all gonna work out. You know, like, you know, that this whole time traveling stuff is really confusing, and it's like, oh, it's messing with my head a little bit, and I don't understand it. Like, if Steve Rogers put back all the stones, will Gamora go back to her own time period, or will she still be out there? I don't know. The Guardians are obviously going to go look for her, and that's really interesting. I like that one shot with, like, when Peter's getting the stones, and then he's like falling, and then he's caught by Valkyrie, and then he comes, and then Captain Marvel catches him, and then he's like, she's like, you got me something for me, kid? And he's like, yeah, I don't know how you're going to stand up to her. And then he's like, oh, don't worry, I won't be alone, or something like that. And then you have all the female characters just coming together. I don't know why. They did it in the first Infinity War, but then in this one, I don't know why. I was just kind of screaming. So I was like, oh, that was so cool. Yeah, just, oh. But yeah, this film, obviously Tony Stark, yeah, spoiler alert, he's dead. Sorry. And yeah, I think Doctor Strange knew, because in Infinity War he saw a million outcomes, and I think this is what the outcome he saw. You know, this is the outcome he saw, where he gave Thanos the Infinity Stone. He did his snapped. Everyone dies 5 years later. Paul Rudd, I mean, sorry, Ant-Man is in the quantum realm at that time, at that exact moment. And I think he saw what was going to happen to do it at the exact moment, you know. And I think it was all planned and timed. The Doctor Strange knew exactly what was going to happen. He was coming up, time travel, all that, the fans of the past coming down. And then he obviously saw that Tony would get the Infinity Gauntlet and snap the fingers, and then he will obviously do all that erase, but he would die in the process. And just seeing Tony Stark, you know, defeat Thanos, you know, defeat the big threat that's been plaguing him since Avengers Assemble, how he's always been so paranoid since then, you know. And I liked how he was the character, the first one in the MCU. I like how it was him, you know, who ended it, you know, and it's like an Iron Man. It was like, oh, that was so cool. That was like, dude, that was like, in all honesty, I really liked all that. Just great fan fiction right there. It was really sad. It was like, oh, when Pepper Potts came, Tony, it's okay. Just, you know, we've done it. We've saved the day, and you can rest now. And she was just crying. I was like, oh, and then all our characters just like come to the funeral. Everyone was there, you know. The Guardians were there. Black Panther was there. Doctor Strange, Peter Parker, the original Avengers, the new Avengers, and everyone's saying, who was that kid at that funeral? Well, if you remember from Iron Man 3, it was the little kid from Iron Man 3 that helped Tony in a way. He's there all grown up. And then you have Captain Marvel and Nick Fury there. I loved it. I kind of wish Agent Coulson was there, and like the SHIELD agents maybe. Just, They could have been there. Like, come on. Oh, even Thunderbolt Ross was there as well, which I thought was great. Um, yeah, everyone was there, and oh, his daughter, I love you 3000, and everything. Oh, all of that was just so great. And I like how Steve Rogers took back the Infinity Stones and he had his life. He had his life with Peggy. And it made you realize that Steve was probably the man that Peggy was talking about in Winter Soldier, how there was another man and she had a life, but she never told him who he was, and it was probably him. And I like that. And it would be nice to see a little series of like what Steve's life was like in between that time. And Thor's gone off with the Guardians to do whatever he's gonna do, and yeah, it's just great. The Falcon and Winter Soldier are gonna do their thing. Everyone's gonna do their thing, and yeah, can't wait for the next film. And obviously, we got that with Far From Home. We got to see a bit more of what was happening in the world, and I'll do my review on that. But this film gets a 10 out of 10 and A star just because it was just a great end to this Infinity Saga in a way. And let's begin this new phase of movies. And phase 4 begins with Black Widow, I think, which is a prequel. And then movies from there on, let's see what's going to happen. And I can't wait. And first of all, watch this review, please like and share the video and comment down below and tell me what's your favourite MCU flick. With that said, thank you for watching. As always, Boy the Review signing out.